Welcome to podcast number 4 of our AI-generated news summary. Let's dive into the summaries of our top stories. Our next story is titled, Pollster predicts biggest mental health crisis in American history if Trump wins. Mark Halperin said the country was not ready for what is coming if Trump beats Harris. The pollster predicts there will be workplace fights and violent protests launched by the left. They think he's the worst person possible to become president, he said. Trump derangement syndrome is a sign of fundamental evil at the heart of their fellow citizens. End of the nation, concluded Halperin. The full interview with Tucker Carlson can be seen on Fox News Channel at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Click here to watch the full interview. The entire interview can be viewed on foxnews.com at 10 p.m. ET and 1 a.m. ET. The interview can also be viewed online at www.foxnews.com/Tucker-Carlin. The video can be downloaded for free on the Fox News app for iPhone and iPad. For more information on how to get your hands on a copy of the Tucker Carlson Show interview, visit www.tuckercarlson.com. Our next story is titled, Where Americans Should Retire versus Where They Actually Retire. Experts and retirees only agree on 3 states that are best for retirement: Florida, South Carolina, and Georgia. Bankrate's study judged all 50 states by 5 key metrics: affordability, well-being, healthcare, weather, and crime. Our next story is titled, Joy Reid claims black male Trump voters are part of a global fascist phenomenon. MSNBC's Joy Reid is a standard bearer for perpetually angry, post-menopausal cat ladies that do sadly tend to vote in large numbers. These are the same women coming out in droves to support Kamala Harris based purely on her gender and skin color. Democrats and leftist activists have spent the better part of the last decade calling masculinity a toxic and oppressive social disease. They have worked hard to demonize all men as potential rapists, misogynists, mass shooters, and fascists. Now, not surprisingly, progressive women want men to lift them out of the hole they've dug for themselves. Reid's comments come not long after Barack Obama tried to shame black men into voting for Harris by accusing them of bias against her because she's a woman. We can now officially call Obama's smug speech the greatest political backfire of all time. Listen to black voters respond to Obama trying to shame them into voting for Kamala. Click here for more from CNN's iReport. Our next story is titled, 10 Signs That the Economy is a Giant Mess as the Election Approaches. Initial jobless claims for the week ending October 5 came in at 258,000, up 33,000 from last week's level of 225,000, the highest since it hit the same level in August 2023. Data from the Labor Department shows Lamb Weston, the largest producer of French fries in North America, is closing a production plant in Washington State. Boeing will lay off approximately 10% of its entire workforce. U.S. banks closed more than 700 branches in the first 9 months of the year. True Value, a 75-year-old hardware store brand, has filed for bankruptcy and is selling substantially all of its operations to a rival. Several hundred underperforming 7-Eleven locations across North America are closing. Home Depot has put up nearly 4 million square feet of warehouse space for sublease. Our system is literally crumbling right in front of our eyes. And unless something dramatic happens, economic conditions in this country will soon become extremely harsh, Snyder said. Our next story is titled, Stealth Edit. FBI quietly revises violent crime stats higher. In September 2023, the FBI released the final crime data for 2022. There were an additional 1,699 murders, 7,780 rapes, 33,459 robberies, and 37,091 aggravated assaults. The FBI's new 2023 data show virtually no improvement, just a 0.2% drop, while the NCVS shows a 19% increase over that period. Polls show that Americans are concerned about crime. But the FBI and the media are making it difficult to see how crime rates have changed. A Gallup poll found in March that crime and violence is a top concern of Americans. The NCVS interviews 240,000 people each year about their personal experiences. The study found that NCVS numbers show that total violent crime has risen by 55.4% since Biden took office. Rapes are up by 42%, robbery by 63%, and aggravated assault by 55%. The news media didn't report the increase in violent crime in 2023. Our next story is titled, Superhuman. NVIDIA CEO blown away after Musk sets up 100,000 GPUs in 19 days. NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang says Elon Musk pulled off a superhuman feat by setting up a supercluster of 100,000 H200 GPUs in just 19 days. According to Tom's Hardware, the XAI team reportedly went from concept to full-ready compatibility with NVIDIA's gear. Musk's integration of 100,000 H200 GPUs has never been done before, says NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang. The back of a computer is all wires, he says. Our next story is titled, How Goldman is Trading the Election. 8 Top Trades and Observations. Traders are finally starting to pay close attention to what November the 5th of May bring. A Trump victory would lead to a substantial burst in executive orders reversing the mandates of the Biden-Kamala admin. Our next story is titled, SBA's Disaster Loan Program Runs Out of Money as Hurricanes Drive Demand. The Small Business Administration's SBA Disaster Assistance Loan Program is out of money after Hurricanes Helene and Milton struck parts of the United States. The agency will therefore be pausing new loan offers for its direct, low-interest, long-term loans. It comes after President Joe Biden warned lawmakers this month that the agency's disaster loan program was set to run out of funding. The SBA was created in 1953 and offers low-interest loans to businesses, homeowners, renters, and private nonprofit organizations. Through its loan program, homeowners can receive up to $500,000 to replace or repair their primary residence. It has received around 37,000 applications from those impacted by Helene. The agency has made over 700 Helene loan offers totaling about $48 million. For Milton, the agency has already received over 12,000 applications. It is encouraging eligible businesses and households to apply for SBA disaster loans. SBA, we strongly encourage eligible businesses, households and renters to apply. Our next story is titled, WTI rallies after API reports across-the-board inventory draws. Oil prices dipped very marginally today, with WTI holding above $70, down for the 4th day in a row. Traders focused on an uncertain demand outlook, particularly from China. In absence of any serious geopolitical tension, the path of least resistance is skewed to the downside. Tomorrow we will get the official weekly data on U.S. production, demand, and inventories. The Chinese demand equation influencing the market. API reports major product draws and a surprise crude draw. Build expected. WTI was hovering just above $70 ahead of the API print and rallied into the green for the day after the print. The price of oil is down 0.3% today, and 0.4% for the week so far. The market is down 1.7% this week, and 1.8% for last week. The U.S. crude oil futures contract is up 0.5% today and 1% for this week. It is down 2.7% and 2.2% since the start of the year. Our next story is titled, Doug Casey's Top 3 Predictions for Post-Election America. The U.S. is experiencing a cultural revolution to eliminate anything that's traditional. Interest rates, the price of money, are the most important market. Be a prepper and set aside a few months' worth of essentials in case the going gets tough. Build your resource stocks. We're up for the 6th bull market in these problematical little stocks. Junior producers and developers could head up 10-1 as a group. The U.S. military consumes around $1 trillion of the government's spending annually. Flag officers are now largely self-promoting political operatives. Gaza and the Ukraine are obvious candidates for U.S. involvement to spin out. I don't know when a bear market will get seriously underway. But in terms of gold, real money, we'm already in a bear market. I handicap the Dems to win then. Strictly on the basis of fraud. So what do I expect to happen this year? Let's assume a less than 100% chance the election proceeds more or less as usual. That concludes our AI-generated news summary for today. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for our next episode.